Hi guys, today we are playing a game called Tender Lovin Cannibal. It looked cute, so let's see what we got going on here, guys. This guy's kind of cute too. Okay, here we go. Breaking. Can you guys hear that?
What's going on? That's horrible. Oh no. And the news! No more breaking tonight! They already broke someone over there. No, that's it. No more news.
Okay. Hues of pink and blue dance in the sky as streaks of sunlight peek through the clouds. The moving truck you rented is finally driving off, a few of your boxes left sitting on the sidewalk beside you. Moving alone is no easy task. Wishing you had a friend to help, you haul the rest of the boxes inside and set them down in a nearby closet. Your new home looks barren, just barely made habitable by the furniture you've managed to drag through the door. Now that your stuff is situated, you're aching for a break. Exiting your new home, you trail down the sidewalk. It's later out now, though the sun remains hidden by wispy clouds. A newspaper lands abruptly at your feet, stopping you in your tracks. It's nearly smudged beyond recognition. Despite the weather's state of the page, you attempt to read it. On January 2nd, yet another person was declared missing. Eyewitness reports the individual having last been seen at newly reopened family restaurant. Missing. Before you have time to finish reading the concerning headline, an autumn breeze sweeps it away. The cold air is nipping fiercely at your skin. You can't help but shiver at the sensation. Maybe it would have been smart to wear an actual coat today. Your walk continues, albeit with a quickened pace thanks to this newly gained information. The quiet doesn't last long as you hear a faint rumbling of a car engine steadily growing louder. You turn as the vehicle abruptly screeches to a halt beside you. If the discomfort of the biting chill wasn't enough, the car door quickly bursts open. Two police officers get out of the vehicle, chattering amongst themselves as they approach you. Great. Once the officers come closer, it becomes apparent neither of them wear a badge. Their bare-bones blue uniforms at least help distinguish them from the normal citizens.
You there! Excuse me! I've got some questions to ask.
To call this sudden would be an understatement. Is this about that time you stole the candy bar? You were just a kid. Yeah, is there something you need?
What do you know about the disappearances in this town? You're not the kidnapper, are you?
Dude. The officer's tirade is cut off when their partner, already looking completely fed up with the situation, slaps him on the back of the head. Disappearances? Kidnapper? That was enough to make anyone's heart rate spike. Before the panic sets in too much, the other officer speaks up in a calmer, more soothing tone.
Sorry about my partner there. They can get a bit intense around people, especially given everything that's been happening.
It's okay, I guess. I would be pretty high-strung too with all this going on. Hold on, I gotta turn the volume down just a hair. There we go. The cop awkwardly scratches the back of his head.
Yeah. And with things being so rough, we have to be extra careful. So, I'm gonna need to see some ID.
And make it snappy.
Shush.
I haven't got my ID, sorry. Both officers look perplexed at you before their confusion can turn to suspicion. You speak again. I just moved here, that's why. I can still give you my information. My name is SJ. That's not suspicious at all. The policeman lowers his glasses, grinning at you over the tinted frames.
Sounds good. I'll keep that in mind, pal.
By the way, I prefer to go by she, her.
I see. Thanks for letting me know.
The shorter officer looks you up and down as you speak, visibly trying to memorize your appearance.
Since you're apparently new around here, I'll give you this bit of advice. Be careful. My partner wasn't joking when they said people have been going missing.
We've got our eyes on you, buckaroo. If we hear you've tried any funny business, we're reporting you to the chief right away.
Oh no, we shouldn't pass the case to him. He's grumpy enough as it is.
We won't have to if the newbie behaves.
Without another word, the policemen hop back into their vehicle. The tires squill a shrill tune when the car tears off down the road, leaving you in a cloud of dust. Coughing as the car disappears in the distance, you were a bit shaken by the confrontation. Wow, I've been here for less than a day and I'm already getting profiled. To add on to everything else, your empty stomach is growling insistently. Unpacking took longer than expected, leaving you no time for breakfast. It's safe to say you're starving. Maybe I should get something to eat before I head home. Your brows furrow as you wonder what places are open and within walking distance. Before you can begin your journey to hunt down a food spot, the sound of excited chatter catches your attention. You come to a halt in front of a large glass window. Curing meats hang on display, and just past it you can see a bunch of happy patrons. Burgers. They're probably cheap and filling enough. What could possibly go wrong? Famous last words. With renewed enthusiasm, you push the glass door open as the bells jingle cheerfully from above. Upon entering, you're pleasantly greeted with a warm and aromatic atmosphere. Various people sit at the diner, making small talk and enjoying their food. Like clockwork, their chatter is drowned out by a voice calling out from further in the building.
Just a minute, please. I'll be with you shortly.
The light southern accent mixed with his deeply toned sound like butter, savory and smooth. The man it belongs to has a big toothy grin and almost seems too big to be genuine. Yet here he stands, happily taking orders and humming a soft tune to himself. A badge pinned to his chest proudly displays his name. Bob.
Sorry about that. What can I get for you?
His over-the-top smile brings chills down your spine. You ignore it as best you can, and you take a moment to properly browse the menu. Let's go with the Jolly Meal. You hesitantly... Oh, okay. You hesitantly point to your menu item of choice. Having a small notepad already out, the employee nods and jots down your order before casting his gaze back towards you. Your heart skips a beat listening to him speak.
Sure. No problem, darling. Anything else?
The nickname rolls effortlessly off his tongue. Heat rises to your cheeks, making you sputter in response as you try to think of anything other than the impromptu endearment. Loco Cola? Yeah, that's everything. The last sentence came out much quieter than you intended. The employee's eyebrows raised, his expression unreadable for a fleeting moment. He squints and then his smile widens before he bursts into a hearty laugh. You give him a smile in return. His laughter soon subsides, but its warmth remains.
Say, I ain't never seen you here before. You new in town?
You lean against one of the bar stools, humming to yourself in thought before settling your arms on the cool marble counter. Ooh, get all.
That's great. The town's always been too quiet for my taste. It'll be nice to have someone around who can shake things up.
I'll try not to let you down. Anyway, I got here this morning and was feeling too lazy to cook, so here I am.
Well then, nice to meet you. It ain't often people come around these parts anymore.
He hesitates, looking as though he wants to say more.
Your food will be done in a sec. Why don't you take a seat? After all, you must be tired.
He looks nice enough. Maybe even somebody you'd want to get to know more. Your thoughts are cut short when you realize you're still standing at the front. Yeah, you're right. I'll go, but thank you for being so nice.
Of course.
You smile to yourself as you push away from the counter, leaving to find an empty booth close by. You sit down at a corner booth, idly observing the table settings. Salt and pepper shakers, an old napkin dispenser, and a laminated menu fail to catch your interest. There's also some dull scratches along the surface of the booth. You squint slightly, trying to make out some sort of faded writing, only snapping back to attention when a plate of food is set down in front of you.
Here you go, hun.
Thanks.
While I'm here, you need anything else?
Well... Let's apologize. Why not? I wanted to apologize for earlier taking so long to order. I didn't mean to hold up the line like that. Bob waves dismissively. His demeanor seems unshakable, even when sheer awkwardness is staring at him dead in the face.
Think nothing of it, sweetheart. I've seen folks take much longer to buy way less.
When he finally turns from you and walks away, you can hear him humming a tune to himself. It's unrecognizable to you and barely audible beneath the music playing from the diner's speakers. Maybe you'll get a chance to ask him about it soon. With a sigh of resignation, you grab your burger with one hand and check your phone with the other. Wow. It's about, nobody's checked up on you since you moved away. Your family has given you very little apart from radio silence and some pocket change. Even though it's pretty discouraging, at least you're starting to connect with people here. Maybe this is where you can start fresh. You slide your phone into your pocket and stand up from your booth, waving goodbye to the cashier. Upon exiting the diner, you're instantly met with a cold gust of wind that spreads goosebumps down your arms. Once you check the time on the phone, the display confirms it's to be late afternoon. You start walking at a brisk pace, feeling full of food and ready to explore. Dozens of nondescript stores line the street, none of them capturing your interest. At one point, you even end up passing by the police station and mentally note its location. As you're marching down the sidewalk, you spot a colorful building, pictures of delicious sweets covering the windows. Beckoned by the call of its tantalizing treats, you start approaching the door. Unfortunately, mere seconds before you open it, a group of teens rush out. They slam into you, nearly knocking you to the ground in the process. Heaps of candy spill from their hands and bags. The shortest one recovers first, glaring up at you as his friends frantically salvage their falling candy.
Hey! Watch it!
Another boy, this one wearing a beanie, swishes him before politely addressing you.
Sorry about that. We gotta go.
Quickly gesturing to his friends, the group grabs what remains of their candy before running off. You blink, staring at the dust cloud the group has kicked up in their wake. What was that all about? You shrug off the counters, you push open the door, you smell an intoxicating aroma of sugar. Once you enter, you see an employee frantically sweeping up a candy-littered floor. She twitches at the sound of the door closing behind you and looks at you with wide, worried eyes. After a moment, she seems to calm down.
Welcome to the Candy Club. My name is Kelsey. How may I help you?
I want to ask if she needs help. She looks very frazzled. Do you need help? This place looks trashed.
Oh, no. I'm fine. Silly me, left the store unattended. Again. I stepped outside for a smoke break that I had no business taking. Then boom. Before you know it, disaster strikes.
She sighs, sullenly looking down at the floor.
This is the third time this month those brats stole candy!
I knew it! The candy on the floor looks suspiciously similar to the treats you'd seen in those teens' hands. It's safe to assume the floor clerk had just been robbed and you watched the perpetrators get away. I can help clean up if you want, or I can pay for whatever they stole. I don't have much, though. Kelsey's eyes light up as she grips the broom tightly, beaming with newfound gratitude.
Oh, thank you so much. I can't believe you'd do something like that.
You help collect the wasted candy and deposit it in the trash while Kelsey restocks what was stolen. With some time and elbow grease, the floor looks spick and span. I guess I should pay for that candy now.
You really don't have to do that. I'll just put it on their tab. One of their moms always pays for what they steal. She's a real handful.
Well, I'd still feel bad if I came in here and didn't get anything. Instead, you pluck a bag of mixed candy off a nearby shelf. Various wrapped chocolates and toffees rattle inside as you place the package on the counter. Kelsey drops her broom, letting it clatter to the floor as she quickly ducks behind the register to ring up your purchase.
And will that be all?
She lowers her voice secretively.
You don't have to buy anything more. It's just the store's policy to say that every time.
I kind of feel bad for her. Why don't we get something else? Your eyes scan the selection of sweets before homing in on a couple more cheap bags that you can get. Score! I'll take 2 bags of those candies, please. I can't pass up a good sale. Kelsey laughs while snagging 2 of the bags.
You and another customer of mine. He always likes buying these in bulk.
As her voice trails off, she seems to get a bit nervous. Regardless, she shakes it off and tells you how much you owe. Passing the money over, you speak in a low, soft voice. You're not sure if she's even allowed to keep tips. Keep the change. The money falls out of Kelsey's hands as her arm goes limp, mouth dropping open as she stares at you. Are you okay?
Yeah, totally. Perfectly fine. And,
Her smile becomes smaller, more genuine.
Thank you.
Oh, I like her. Hope she becomes a friend. As your interaction with the cashier comes to a halt, you take one final look around the store. You absolutely have to come back in the future. The collection of sweets is super impressive, and... wait. Something doesn't feel right. Your eyes dart back to the window at the front of the building, allowing you to just barely catch a glimpse of a silhouette moving beyond the pane. A formation of fleeting figures is the only thing you can really make out before they vanish from sight. Taking a couple steps away from the cash register and closer to the window, your eyes narrow as you try to figure out where they went.
Hey, are you okay?
Still unsettled, you whirl around to face her. Yeah, I just... Uh-oh. Kelsey clings to the counter, startled by the sudden alarm. This time the sudden noise causes you both to jump. Before you get a chance to ask Kelsey what the beeping is, she starts ushering you towards the back door. She even goes as far to snag her previously discarded broom to shoo you away. Hey, what the...
Quick! You You have to go before my coworker finds out I was slacking off. And I have to finish cleaning that mess.
Her borderline ramble mixed with an occasional pokes from the room make it impossible for you to get a word in edgewise. Before you know it, you're shoved out into the alleyway. The back door shuts behind you, and you can faintly hear Kelsey call out to you from the other side.
Sorry, and it was nice meeting you. Take care!
What a rushed conversation. That cashier might actually have been more high-strung than the police. Now alone in the dingy alley, you look up and spot the darkening sky above. Time definitely got away from you when you're talking to Kelsey, and it's best to head home before it gets too dark. Navigating your way out of the literal maze of roads is a real challenge, but eventually you make your way back to your home. The stars twinkle above as you stumble inside, drained by an eventful day. With exhaustion at the forefront of your mind, you quickly make your way towards your bed. You're out like a light before your head hits the pillow, but your sleep is by no means a dreamless one. The vast expanse lays stretched out before you. Grass and weeds seem to writher and curl beneath your feet, ever slowing, never stopping. The ground feels unstable, the sky is somehow off. Chancing a glance upward is like staring off into a yawning abyss, a chasm occupied by countless and fathomless things. That world up there is far beyond the world down here, but echoes of it still sing a droning melody to you. It's beautiful. A sense of loneliness persists, but you are not alone, surely not in a place as large as this, right? The eyeballs. Oh, poked eyeballs. Veiling the ground, a thick fog spreads far into the mountains. Where is this coming from? Every gasp for breath is shallow. You're starting to get dizzy. Eyeball. Far beyond wherever you are now, a monolithic mountain range blocks your way. Even if you had a mind to see where the path leads, it would take forever to make it anywhere, and who knows what's hiding in those hills. Book Devil. These stars are way different from the usual constellations found littering the astral realm. The longer you look at them, the more you realize they are an odd shade of blue. Book Devil. Are you sure you want to keep looking at the stars? I think we got all the eyeballs, so yes. I don't know what that means. Eyeball. Eyeball. Okay. A sudden breeze whips through the field, causing the grass to rattle as an ominous chorus. The silent chill that follows pierces through your skin and into your very bones. The night is peaceful, but is bittersweet and unrelenting. Your eyelids flutter little. Endless quiet engulfs your senses. The desire for sleep is hard to overcome. Laying down in the soft grass and staring into nothingness is a nice way to go. Go. A cluster of stars above twinkle merrily at your plight. They whisper to no one. They whisper to one another, giggling and looking at you all the while. You look back at them, determining how you will respond. I'm curious. How do you reply? Shut up. Let's just see what happens. I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to just... I don't know if this is the way to decipher us. Yeah. Okay, that's not good. I'm assuming that last part would be, who are you? How do you reply? I am the something of the something, and I will something you something. That's what I got. I don't know if it's right, but that's what I got. You okay, so I'm gonna say you are not something of something how something you something I don't know. I don't know. I probably should have told him to shut up to begin with. Your conversation seems to stretch on into infinity. Keeping track of your own words becomes a long-forgotten need. The world unravels around you as you slowly slip away into the impossible deep sleep. Okay. Apparently, I am not sleeping well. Wakefulness doesn't come easy. It crawls back into your mind like a wounded animal, hesitant and weak. The world around you only appears as blurred shapes and contours before the finer details come back into focus. A bead of sweat runs down your face, burning hot yet feverishly cold. It feels like you're sick, but that can't be right. You were fine before going to bed. Your hands are littered with divots imprinted into your flesh. Judging by the hints of blood beneath your fingernails, this was your own doing. Did you have a nightmare? I'm thinking, yeah. No need to dwell on that. There are things you need to do today, right? You should get ready to go. Now playing your room. Okay. Oh wow, there's a lot of stuff here. Let's start on the side. Inside are a few knickknacks, mostly easy access stuff, a box of tissues, some paper clips, a spare phone case. There's also a pair of earrings that you quickly put on. Thankfully, they're made out of material you aren't allergic to. Light. It's just a cheap lamp. It had cracks on one side, but you've angled it so the fracture is facing the wall at all times. Bed. The bed is made, or close to it anyway. It's not unbearable to look at, despite how much you tossed and turned last night. The sheets are dotted with blood, but that can be cleaned up later. Take a peek beneath the edge of the bed, reveals a couple pairs of shoes. You select the most comfortable pair and slip them on. What's up here? Shelves haven't been filled yet. Your books are still tucked away in one of the many unpacked boxes. You'll get to them eventually, not today. What's in here? Everything in the house that's worth stealing is nestled safely in here. This cabinet alone is responsible for half of the keys on your keyring. That's because it contains your hats. Beanies of various shades, clips, pins, and other headwear are all lined up in neat rows. You'd buy a set of foam heads to put them on, but there's not enough room. You take down your favorite accessory and put it on your head. Window. We'll leave the curtains open. They're already open. You can always change it up tomorrow. An ancient succulent it's in need of watering. Let's water it. In a last-ditch effort to save your little friend, you run to the kitchen and fill a glass with water. After dumping the stuff into the succulent soil, you breathe a sigh of relief as the wilted leaves visibly perk up. Only a little, though. That sounds about right. What's this? It's a little bunny staring at you judgmentally. Don't you have better things to do? Better hop to it. Alright. It's just a normal photograph. Why are you so focused on this again? Another plant. An ancient succulent. It's in need of water. Yeah, let's water it. Did I already click on that? I thought that was a window. You don't own enough outfits to really warrant a wardrobe until you find your footing. Your clothing are folded and kept here. After a little bit of digging, you find a clean pair of pants and a fine shirt. Sweet. An outlet. You've been tempted to stick a fork into outlets before, but you're old enough now to know better. I'm gonna say the window is just gonna want me to close it. Nope, I'm gonna leave it open. I've already watered it twice. What's this thing? It's just a mannequin. It usually tests out the latest styles, but right now it's fairly underdressed. Another empty shelf, I'm assuming. Shelves haven't been filled. Yep. Light. Fluorescent desk lit perfect with the finer details of whatever you decide to read. Chair. Your comfiest chair. It has its legs have somehow survived some unfortunate impacts while it was being moved here. If you squint hard enough at your door jamb, there's still a faint scratch or two from those incidents. What's this? Upon further inspection, you find your house keys wedged into a gap in the cushions. How'd those get there? After you've put together the most important pieces of your outfit, you've gotten your keys, you determine that you're ready to leave. Breakfast can be sorted out later. Sunlight embraces you as you step outside, momentarily blinding you at the same time. It takes a bit before your vision clears, forcing you to blink away the bright spots that take ages to fade. Now that you're finally out of the house, memories of locations and streets come flowing back to you. You can choose where to go more easily than yesterday. Why don't we go get breakfast? Seeking some grounding normality from whatever it was you had dreamed about last night prior, you make your way over to the boys and girls. The diner opens up before you as you slip inside. A consistent hum of low chatter fills your ears, coming from the crowd around you. Beyond the sea of social anxiety, you can hear the sound of Bob calling out orders as he works the grill. Now you need to figure out what to do to catch his attention. Let's join the line. Cutting in front of the other customers to try to flag down Bob is out of the question. Joining the line is the most polite thing to do and easier to get Bob's attention that way. Sliding in behind the last person in line, you patiently wait. And wait. And wait. And wait. The voice of the cashier snaps you out of your daze, making you jolt as the employee speaks to you.
Welcome to Boys and Grills. What can I do for you?
Sorry, I just need to...
Hey!
You lean around the confused employee, spotting Bob not too far away. Waving to catch his attention, you frantically move your arm about in hopes that he notices. Thankfully he does, before you make a fool out of yourself again.
It's great to see you again, darling. What brings you around here?
Aw, he looks so sad. You pause for a moment, arm no longer flailing, before summoning the courage to speak. Maybe we could chat if it's not a bother, I mean. Despite your best efforts, a lack of certainty is evident in your voice. Bob looks fixedly at you for a moment before his face returns to its usual smile.
I'll tell you what, my break starts in about...
He trails off and glances at the diner clock.
10 minutes. I'll chat all you like then. Deal?
Aw. Sure, see you then. Bob returns to a spot by the grill as time slowly ticks by as you watch the patrons finish their food, then trickle out the door one by one. When about 5 minutes has passed, this people-watching session is interrupted by the approach of an employee. They wear a similar uniform to Bob, but far different expression on their face.
Hey, you've been here for a hot minute. Can I get you anything or show you to a different seat? This booth is usually reserved for families.
Oh, sorry, I'm waiting for someone. It won't take long. He should be here in just a few minutes. The employee squints at you for a moment, then they shrug.
Right. Sorry for the trouble then. If you need anything, wave me over and I can take your order.
Without waiting for another response, the employee turns and walks off towards another occupied table. Thankfully, the rest of your wait is quite uneventful. Customers come and go in droves, but none of them try to initiate conversation. Some other employees spare you passing glances, but even they leave you alone. Once enough time has passed, you don't notice the shadow being cast over you until the man responsible for it waves awkwardly to get your attention.
Sorry for being late. I hope I didn't make you wait too long.
He waits for you to gesture that he's welcome to sit before he settles in the seat in front of you.
The name's Bob, though I bet you could have figured that out by reading my nameplate.
He pauses before holding his hand out to you for a shake. I mean, this is supposed to be an introduction, right? I'm Miss J. Nice to meet you. You return the handshake with some amount of vigor or practice gesture used in quite a few past job interviews. It was never charming enough to land you the gig, but Bob appears more than satisfied by your show of politeness.
Pleased to meet you. The name sure suits a face like yours.
His compliment is just as surprising as it is flattering. Without a response, ready, you fidget a little with your hands, muttering words of gratitude under your breath.
Anyways, you said you were new here? You been here long or what?
No, actually, I moved in yesterday.
Really now?
You nod in affirmation. Once I get done unpacking, I thought it'd be a good idea to explore. After some wandering, well, I ended up here. Turns out it's the closest food joint to my house. Lucky me.
You don't say. A lot of customers have been turning up like that. Wanderers are great for business, but y'all sure can wear a fella out.
Bob rubs one of his eyes and yawns, clearly exhausted from today's shift.
Speaking of which, anything catch your eye so far in this town?
That's a tough one to answer. But if I had to choose something that stood out to me so far, it would be... Oh, we're doing that one. You give Bob a mischievous smile, leaning in slightly closer. If I had to pick, it'd be you.
Say again?
He blinks a few times, freezing in his seat. He looks as if he misheard you. I think you're interesting.
Do you now?
A slow smile makes his way across Bob's face. He seems eager to respond to the opportunity he's been given.
A sweet thing like yourself ought to watch what you say around folks you've just met.
Oh, that's kind of an evil grin right there.
I could be dangerous, you know.
Normally this kind of response would make you laugh. Instead, you find yourself paying a bit more mind. The same could be said about me. He tilts his head in interest, staring for a moment too long before bursting into laughter.
You? I might as well be shaking in my boots. Give me a good scare, then we'll talk.
A lulling conversation follows soon after your words. The silence is by no means tense, but as Bob starts looking around the diner, you're made painfully aware that it needs to be filled somehow. Think, Shay, think. Hey, Bob? What's your favorite color? Wow, really pulling out all the stops here. Thankfully, Bob doesn't look too pressed about the quality of your icebreaker.
Oh, red for sure. It stands for danger, but also courage. What about yours?
Purple.
Why's that?
Royalty status and culture. I just like purple. Did you know it's associated with elite? The dyes used to make purple clothes were so expensive only royalty could afford it.
That's a well-known fact, if I ain't mistaken.
Well, do you have a better one? He taps his chin thoughtfully as he attempts to think of some relevant trivia.
Ah, I've got it. Did you know organic foods that are purple in color tend to contain a chemical called anthocyanin? The stuff comes from plants, but it's got loads of antioxidants too. It's good for cattle. It makes their meat fattier.
So what you're saying is if I see purple meat, I should definitely eat it?
What? I wouldn't recommend eating purple meat, actually.
Antioxidants aside, I'm pretty sure purple meat still can be eaten. Close to rotten, sure, but definitely worse stages of decay. I've heard of people eating meat that was so rotten it gave them hallucinations. Sounds fun.
Can't say I've heard of that one. Color me surprised.
The pun isn't at all lost on you. You should be a comedian instead of flipping burgers for a living. Bob seemed oblivious to the possible sarcasm of your comment.
Comedian? Nah, not for me. Cooking is my first love. Everything else is just plain second fiddle. But in all seriousness, don't eat purple meat.
Another natural pause forms in the conversation. Perhaps Bob is in awe of your fantastical fun facts, or maybe he's just a bit bored. Either way, he speaks up once more after a beat of silence.
Say, what do you think about Halloween? It's personally my favorite holiday.
Oh, I like Halloween. I love Halloween. The decorations, the costumes, the trick-or-treating, haunted houses, all that. Bob nods along heartily in agreement.
I'm glad to hear it. Now, if only the rest of the town celebrated it longer. As soon as Halloween's over, these folks get rid of their jack-o'-lanterns and rush to decorate the Christmas tree.
I feel that. It's like the decorations disappear as soon as November 1st hits. At least the candy goes on sale the next day. He brightens up a bit at the mention of candy.
Good point. It's the perfect chance to stock up on some sweets. But it's still a shame they skip right to Christmas.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, but at least we could celebrate Halloween together.
Oh? I might have to take you up on that. But what would the plans be?
Ooh. Haunted house. What if we went to a haunted house?
Nah, I've been to them 100 times. Didn't even scare me the first time. But I guess if you need someone to hold your hand, I wouldn't mind going with you.
Aw, he's cute. I'm not a baby.
If you say so. But I've got to warn you, them folks behind the haunted house mean serious business. The guy in charge makes it his life's mission to scare the devil out of you. And then some. Not that it's ever worked on me, but you get the idea.
Pumpkin carving? We could carve pumpkins together and see who can make the spookiest one.
I like a challenge, though my carving skills are unmatched.
Don't get too cocky.
I'm just being honest.
Costumes? What if we picked out costumes together?
Costumes, you say?
Yeah. At the mentions of costumes, Bob's smile falters. Did you say something wrong? That constant eye contact, usually a sign he's paying attention, but without his grin, it feels more like he's staring right through you. To help cope with the unease, you had another suggestion. Maybe we could match. In sudden return to form, he cackles a bit.
A big, fat, grown man in a costume. Sure, I doubt there are any costumes my size, though.
We could make one. Bob seems to be taken by surprise.
What am I gonna be anyways? Frankenstein's monster?
You'll see when Halloween comes up.
All right then. Keep your secrets.
What about trick-or-treating?
Trick!
Wait, what?
You asked trick or treat, and I said trick.
I didn't. That's not how it works.
Then why'd you ask me?
I was asking a different question. Bob breaks down laughing at the exasperated look on your face. He chortle, wheezes, and even has to wipe tears from his eyes before finally getting his laughter under control. Oh.
Oh, come on. I couldn't help but mess with you a bit.
Jokes aside.
Jokes aside.
Okay, that's him,
only
not me.
kids trick or treat here. Unless you like getting weird looks from folks. I've tried. Trust me. Once you reach a certain age, they just think you're trying to rob them.
Another lull in conversation forms as you take a moment to stretch. Having sat down for so long makes your joints creak and groan, but movement is fairly effortless until pain. Without warning, a burning pain rips through the skin of your fingers. You let out a hiss, unthinkingly clenching your hands and reopening once forgotten lesions in the process.
Are you okay? Something wrong with your hands?
I just woke up with them like this.
You could have told me earlier instead of just sitting there in pain. Here, I've got some bandage you can use.
Pulling a purple bandage out of his pocket, he reaches out and carefully takes hold of your hand, treating it as though it was made of glass. His intense eyes scan the injury, pupil dilating at the sight of your blood. His breath briefly catches in his throat at both the surprised gesture and his piercing gaze directed your way. A chill rolls down your spine, goosebumps prickling the skin of your arms. Bob? The sound of your voice seems to snap him out of whatever daze he's in.
Sorry. I don't mean to make you uncomfortable. Here, take it.
You accept the bandage with a nod and put pressure on the worst of the gouges. Thankfully, the rest are far smaller and will heal in no time. And that's okay, and thanks for this, I appreciate it. When you smile gratefully at him, a red hue on Bob's face seems to grow even stronger.
You're welcome, darling.
Bob yelps with surprise, and the piercing sound of an air horn suddenly rings out from behind the register. It brutally pierces through the quiet moment, leaving some of the diner's patrons whispering and covering their ears. You and Bob look to the source of the racket, but only see the cashier waving frantically.
Break's over, Bob. Wrap it up and get back here.
All right, fine. I'll be there in a bit. Just turn that damn thing off.
Bob shakes his head as the employee's interruption before pushing himself up from the seat.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I've taken up quite a bit of your time anyway.
Maybe so, but it ain't a bother. It's wonderful having someone like you to talk to.
Since the feeling is mutual, I'll be sure to stop by more. He laughs before wiping his hands off on his apron.
You better.
You're left sitting there when Bob returns to the register and is instantly integrated into the hustle and bustle of the diner. After taking another look around the diner and noticing the horde of customers, you finally get up from the booth. Bob gives you a final nod of acknowledgement before you make it out the door. Candy Club? Kelsey stands behind the counter. She blows out a puff of air as she stares off at the wall. Hiya, how you been, Kelsey? She perks up when she hears your voice, straightening her posture. Her eyes sparkle as she sees you enter.
Oh, nice to see you again. I've been doing okay. Just tending to the shop as usual.
Silence rings as you both stare at each other. The conversation needs a topic. ask about her day. How's your day been so far? Kelsey looks up, shock written on her face.
I'm just very, very busy.
Kelsey winces a little as she breathes through her teeth.
You know, with keeping this place together and my personal life, it's a lot for a person to handle. I'm probably overworking myself. That's all. What about you? How have you been?
I'm fine, just exploring this place a bit. I'm still new in town. One day doesn't change much. How long have you been here? She seems pleased that someone's genuinely asking about herself.
I've lived here my whole life, in the same house I grew up in. The rest of my family.
Kelsey pauses for a moment, a somber glimpse in her eyes.
They moved away. It's no problem, though. I don't need pity. Sorry, I didn't mean to rant.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Like I said, it's no problem.
Just ask her how she slept. How'd you sleep last night?
Oh? Well, I slept fine. Even with my dreams.
Dreams or nightmares?
No, not nightmares.
She looks uncertain.
It's a recurring dream I've been having for years. It's not scary, per se, but it's not pleasant.
Want to talk about it? Kelsey looks more nervous than before, twirling the gold ring on her finger. She fails to hold eye contact, instead looking at the walls of pink and white.
No, it's fine. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah, the dream is just bright. Blinding, even. It's been years. I still have no idea what to make of it.
That's an odd way to describe a dream. Bright, blinding. Why does that seem familiar? Dreams are weird. You never can tell what they're going to be, I guess.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's ask about the teens. Did those teens ever come back?
I'm surprised you remember that. No, they didn't. At least not during my shift.
That's good. Can't have them putting you out of business. You chuckle at your clever remark. Kelsey giggles as well.
I heard from a coworker that Roy's mom came by later and slammed a check on the counter as compensation.
Her words are cheekily whispered to you like you're a special confidant. Which one was Roy again? I never caught their names.
Roy's the short one with the cap on. He's kinda the ringleader of the group.
The leader? He looks like he's in elementary school.
Maybe it's 'cause his parents spoil him rotten. The other kids are nicer.
Yeah, one of them apologized before running off. Hopefully they won't be committing crimes next time I see them.
I don't know much about them other than that. They usually hang around in their little gang, as they put it.
You want me to make them apologize to you?
Oh, no, that's okay. I'd rather it be them that steals things than some other crazy person.
If you say so, I'll keep an eye out for them anyway. Let's ask about the kidnappings. After a moment's pause, your mind strays back to the disappearances you heard about. Can I ask you a weird question?
Sure. What is it?
Do you think this town is safe? Kelsey idly tugs at a strand of her hair.
I don't know what you mean by that. Of course this town is safe.
Well, apparently some people have been going missing. I got pulled aside and interrogated by some cops, all because no one knew me. It's just a little worrying.
Oh, the kidnappings. Everyone calls them kidnappings, but it's not even official. The victims could just be going on a synchronized vacation for all we know.
She laughs awkwardly at her own joke before her smile softens in the face of your worry.
I've heard it's nothing major. This town hardly sees crime, usually. We've got a great police force. Just forget about the time they arrested civilians for a week straight. No, that was pretty terrible. Who randomly arrests someone for saying their store is closed?
You rub your neck when you feel the tension in the shop weighing on you. Good thing I didn't move in that week, huh? Thankfully, Kelsey pauses her rant to giggle at your comment.
That's a good one.
Right. It definitely wasn't a good one. It was hardly even a joke to begin with.
Well, maybe it's a good thing you showed up now.
She twists the ring on her finger, tone turning solemn as her gaze drops down to the countertops.
It's been a while since, a decent person came to the shop.
She looks like she wants to say more but doesn't. Kelsey pauses, taking a moment to look around the store. But she doesn't see a line behind you. She meets your gaze again.
Well, anyway, is there anything I can get you? Anything at all?
Let's buy something. Good question. I've been meaning to pick up some more stuff from here, but I'm not sure what to choose.
That's alright. Here, I'll show you what we have in stock for today.
Okay, no. Ew. Okay. Let's go Gobstoppers. Did I break it? Yeah. That'll be it for me. See you later, Kelsey.
Take care now. Thanks for stopping by.
I guess we have to go to the police station. After what you saw through the Candy Club windows yesterday, you figure speaking to those policemen again is a smart idea after all. Being stalked is a good reason to make a report, so hopefully... Oh my god, sorry guys. Being stalked is a good reason to make a report, so hopefully they won't be upset by your intrusion. Sleek, glassy buildings stretch far beyond the quiet street, the tinted windows mirroring yourself and the occasional car rolling past, reflecting off dark glass panes. After making a final turn, you notice a familiar police car parked in front of the tall, dark building with navy blue accented colors. Upon further inspection, there's someone sitting in the back of the vehicle. Whoever cuffed them seems to have forgotten something, or rather someone. As you step closer, the person in the back seat lock eyes with you, their expressions full of fear.
Help me.
They look at you like a kicked puppy, silently begging for freedom. I'm not taking you letting him out of the car. Freeing the blonde did cross your mind, but you couldn't risk going to jail so soon. A safer option would be to notify someone at the front desk. Turning away from the car, you push open the heavy glass doors to let yourself inside. Inside the building is noticeably different compared to the outside. Dull beige walls and other muted colors greet you upon entering. It looks rather gloomy, but to be fair, a police station isn't meant to be a very calming environment to begin with. The receptionist is brutally tapping away at an old computer when you approach him. You stand behind the counter patiently, waiting for an opportunity to speak, but he doesn't seem to notice you're there. Excuse me? His neck snaps as he turns to face you.
What do you want?
Let's be polite. Excuse me, there's someone outside trapped in one of the police cars. I'm worried they've been there for a while.
Oh yeah? What did they do to get put in there?
I don't know, but they seemed...
Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. If they're so uncomfortable in the back of a cop car, they shouldn't have put themselves in that situation.
Isn't that saying about going to jail and not getting locked in a car? Getting locked in a car isn't doing time. They've been in that thing for hours at this point, maybe even days. The receptionist continues to glower, the infinite wrinkles in his forehead only multiplying as he narrows his eyes at you.
I doubt our officers would be so irresponsible as to let that happen.
Well, I can show you myself if you don't believe me. With a grunt of effort, the man stands. Once he's finally out from behind the desk, he shakes the cobweb off his coat. How long has he been sitting there? Fine, but if this is some kind of practical joke... Oh, okay, that's his borderline. Did he not say it? What does that mean? You don't want to find out. Okay, well... Okay. You point in the direction of the vehicle, only to notice that it's empty. But there's nobody there. But as expected, a total waste of my time. They were right there, I swear. Where are they now? Did this handcuffed criminal magically disappear? Maybe. I'm not going to indulge this any longer. You quickly peek through the window of the car, hoping the mysterious person is just hiding below your line of sight, but no such luck. They're gone without a trace, like they were never there to begin with. If they escaped, good for him, but now you look like an idiot. By the time you've made sure the person truly disappears, the receptionist is already gone. Only a little discouraged by this, you head back into the station as well. With the door now closing softly behind you, you find yourself face to face with a firearm pointed directly at you.
Put your hands up! You're under arrest!
Jesus Christ.
Just joking!
What the heck? You can't just point your gun at...
After leveling a glare at his partner, the glasses-wearing officer decides to insert himself into the conversation.
Say, what was your name again?
It's SJ, didn't I tell you yesterday?
I'm more of a nickname type of guy myself.
Okay. The officer taps the brim of his hat as he gives you a smile.
But I won't forget your name again, Sugar Cube. And that's on my oath as an officer.
He totally just forgot your name again, didn't he? That reminds me, I don't think I've gotten the chance to introduce yourselves properly yet. There's no time like the present.
That's true. Most folks here call me Captain, but Shotgun Man here calls me Kappa.
Shotgun Man?
Shotgun Man!
Okay.
You'll be seeing that name in the papers soon. I've got the highest record for arrests in the whole police department.
Okay. I want to know why his name's Shotgun Man. Why are you called that? Is it on your birth certificate?
Wouldn't doubt it.
Oh, I wish! My mom and pop could never come up with something that cool. I actually named myself.
Yeah, that tracks.
Once he found out folks were calling me Captain after my promotion, he thought we needed to match. To be honest, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, you get to be called Captain since you're the captain. Chief is chief because he's the chief.
And you're called Shotgun Man because you're a total badass. I'm sorry about my partner. It's nice to see you. How have you been? What have you been up to?
All things considered, I'm doing fine. The two officers seem far less high-strung than they were yesterday. Perhaps it's safe to actually make proper small talk. I went to the Boys and Girls. Yesterday I went to this place called Boys and Grills. I was expecting to luck out so much on my first day here, but they've got some great stuff.
I just love their food. The fries are my favorite. The owner is a little scary, though. He's too tall.
Maybe you're just too short.
Scary. Who's the owner then?
He's hard to miss. Big guy with an even bigger smile. Usually wears a cook's uniform. Never seen without the cap on during work hours.
He's a noir, too. Can't forget that.
Huh? Kappa? What the hell is a noir?
Is it not obvious? Someone with black hair. Blonde, brunette, noir.
That makes no sense! Just say he has black hair! You don't have to speak French about it!
What can I say? I'm a man of palpable prose.
You're a pain in my ass is what you are!
Well, the bickering continues. You're given a moment to consider what you've been told. Big guy with an even bigger smile, a Fry Crips uniform, a noir, whatever that means. Based on these descriptions, it's easy to see that Shotgun Man is referring to Bob. Maybe he's not so friendly to everyone he meets, and you're a special case. Or maybe you're just making vast leaps in logic. You've only known him for a day or so after all. I went to the candy store and ended up witnessing a crime.
You... Huh? And you didn't report this? Go to the front desk to submit a witness report as soon as you can.
Yeah, so we could find out who did it and cuff them.
I mean, I don't know how comfortable you feel arresting some kids. The more boisterous of the pair laughs and slaps a fist against his chest.
Kids? No problem! No one's above the law!
His partner slaps the back of his head and ignores the pain yelp he lets out.
Let me guess. A trio of punk teens stealing candy.
Actually, yeah, I take it you're familiar with them.
Unfortunately.
I assume that means they've been caught before then.
Caught? Caught? Those rascals are the furthest thing from slick. Of course they got caught.
But anytime they get booked, their parents swoop in and chastise us. Since they're so young, we've got no choice but to release them after an hour or two tops.
Discipline is important. A little arrest never hurt anybody. Sometime in the slammer would scare them straight. Hey, S, hey, P!
I was having a good day yesterday, but something strange happened at night. The policemen freeze, their posture becoming rigid. You continue to talk. Well, out and about, I noticed something watching me. I'm probably just paranoid, but I thought you two should know. A look of dread looms over them. One of them clears their throat before managing to find the right words.
Did you see what they looked like?
You what? What are you thinking? Going alone to dangerous places when there's trouble afoot? Make a friend and bring them with you, so you've got a safety buddy.
I swear to God, this friggin' shuckin' man's gonna be the friggin' death of me.
Okay. Captain turns to glare at the other, mumbling quiet curses to himself before quickly turning back towards you.
They're just worried about you, pal. You're not in any danger, just on edge like the rest of us. Listen, if you ever get an actual description of what this something looks like, come back and file a report as soon as you can. Until then, there's not much we can do but offer obvious advice.
Well, being able to make a report would be nice. You'd have to be close enough to see any details. Dangerously close. You'll have to decide if it's worth the risk. And I wandered. So I finished unpacking and wandered around, but that's about it.
That's understandable. I wouldn't do much if I didn't have friends either.
They don't mean that. Although I do hope you have someone to spend time with. If not, well.
He winks, gesturing to the rest of the police station behind him.
You know where I'll be.
Okay, so Captain's a flirt. Yes, I know he's been flirting with us this whole time, but still. Let's return fire. Spending time with me? Are you offering to be my bodyguard?
Legally, I'm not allowed to agree to that statement. But I'm not disagreeing either. Getting a grand tour from the best cop in town? Your safety is more than guaranteed.
His face.
You mean cops! Plural!
Huh?
You didn't really think I'd let you waltz around with a potential criminal, right? Fat chance!
Shotgun Man pouts at his partner before outright frowning at you.
Either we're both showing you around, or neither of us will. And that's that!
I don't mind the extra company.
What? Really? Wow. Nobody's ever agreed to my terms so readily before.
Real smooth, man.
I mean, what I meant was, perfect! Like Cap said, we usually hang out here unless we're on patrol. Come by and let us know when you're ready to go!
I'll even let you ride shotgun.
What? That's my seat!
You got to lay out your terms, so here are mine. Guests always get to sit up front, and you're not allowed to drive after what happened last time.
You don't know how hard it is to deal with rifle recoil in a moving car!
I don't, but our fender had to learn the hard way.
The policeman paused for a moment as the Cap looked expectantly at his partner.
Hey, by the way...
Oops. Well, Shotgun Man seems sheepish as he shifts uneasily in place.
Sorry about yesterday. I know Kappa already apologized, but... maybe you're not as much of a criminal as I thought you were. I've still got my eye on you, though. So, no funny business. Got it?
Kevin looks amused by his partner attempted an apology.
It's been nice having a proper visitor around the station. Feel free to drop by anytime. If you need help, or
if you spot any criminals out there, you help us out, and we'll return the favor. Capiche?
Alright, I understand. The offer is an interesting one, though you may or may not accept it. 2 officers seem relatively harmless, but that doesn't mean things can't take a turn later on. Hopefully you're free of any more spooky encounters. As the conversation with the cops reaches its conclusion, you depart from the duo with a wave and promise to chat again in the future. Stepping outside, you're briefly blinded by the slowly setting sun. The town is bathed in rays of glittering gold and radiant red. For as beautiful as the sight is, a sinking feeling settles in your stomach as you recall the words of the officers from the prior day. Missing people, potential murderers, or kidnappings. Perhaps it would be best if you avoid staying out too late, just in case anything might happen. Hastily walking away from boys and girls, you rush through the streets and make your way back home. Your eyes flicker from side to side, watching as the encroaching shadows steadily draw closer. By the time you finally remember to look in front of you, it's already far too late to stop yourself from bumping into the person that suddenly appears before you. Wham! Dazed, you fall to the ground and scrape your hands against the pavement. Old wounds are reopened and stinging pain shoots up your arm before the sounds of a familiar voice soothes it away.
Nice running into you again. But you didn't need to make it so literal.
Bob sounds a bit more tired than earlier, probably due to working all day. He holds out a calloused hand for you to take, giving you the option to take it or not. Oh, totally gonna accept it. You accept it, feeling the rough palm beneath your fingertips before carefully being pulled upwards. The warmth of his hand seeps into you as he sets you back on your feet.
Sorry about that. I hope your landing wasn't too rough. That looked like quite the fall there. Anything else need patching up?
I don't think so. While your palms still sting, they are actively bleeding, and the bandages you got from Bob earlier are still holding on. Why, do you still have some on you?
Maybe. But if I keep bumping into you like this, I'll need to invest in some more. Being a klutz is a dangerous habit.
He's not joking. The whole conversation briefly captures your attention, the shadows encroaching around. You serve as a good reminder as to why you were rushing home in the first place. That's sweet, but hopefully I won't need them. Anyway, I have to head home since it's getting late.
Well, I could tag along if you want. I'll probably be staying out for a bit anyways.
Staying out at this hour, with people going missing, he's strangely at ease about being out late, although it almost makes sense. Bob is a local and he knows how to handle himself. Meanwhile, this is only your second day in town and you barely know the main streets. We're gonna accept it. It would be nice to have some company, and you'd get to talk to him some more. You could always ask him questions about the town. The butcher draws closer to your side, his shadow briefly overlapping yours thanks to the setting sun. His pace slows to match yours as he lumbers along beside you. Initially, you're both quiet as you walk together, but you decide to strike up a conversation just in case things get awkward. So... oh no, things are already awkward. Fortunately, the sound of Bob's laughter breaks the silence. His amusement is infectious.
I'm surprised to see you again so soon.
Surprised in a good way or a bad way?
A good way, of course. I enjoyed our chat earlier, and I was hoping I'd get to speak to you again.
Same goes for you, but I have more questions to ask about the town and maybe some other stuff if that's alright. Bob nods. Let's ask about his work. I hope the customers were nice to you after I left. It looked pretty hectic in there.
You don't have to worry about it. I've never tolerated folks with nasty attitudes hanging around, and I never will.
Even with a small smile present on his face, there's an air of something else radiating off him. Perhaps it's some sort of passive-aggressiveness from years of the service industry. Oh, that's good to hear. Sensing the change in your tone, Bob sighs and sends a more genuine smile your way. Let's ask about so I really enjoyed the food at your diner.
And I'm glad you do. Everyone at Boys and Grills does their best to serve top-notch food, alongside top-notch service.
He beams, chest puffed up with pride as he talks about the diner. Though you haven't known him for long, it's obvious he's proud of Boys and Grills' reputation. Which makes the exact nature of your question all the more heartbreaking. I was kind of curious if you knew there was anywhere else to eat. Immediately he wilts, a spark of joy promptly extinguished by the brutality of your question. He slumps forward, staring at the ground. Several moments of pure silence pass before Bob finally speaks up.
But my food's the best. You don't need to know about anywhere else.
Oh. He's sulking. But Bob, what about diversified dietary options? I can't live off burgers forever. Your objections only seem to make Bob more disgruntled. Each word you speak causes his brow to furrow and his arms to cross defensively as he kicks the pavement beneath him. Every so often he glances at you to see you still staring at him. His tense posture begins to soften and come undone under the weight of your gaze. With a grumble of extreme reluctance, he finally answers your question.
There is another place that just opened up. A pizzeria or something. They think they're so special with their fancy dancing robots. You can't hide your garbage food using cheap gimmicks like that. It just ain't right.
As his tirade continues, you notice his eyes seem to have taken on a cayenne hue? Cyan, that's the word I wanted. Cayenne is a pepper. Cyan is blue. It looks like you might have made a mistake asking that question. Wanting to hopefully brighten up his mood, you decide to change the subject or the topic to something more lighthearted. So I've noticed you hum a lot. And it's always a specific tune. Is there a story behind that? The stress in his eyes seems to vanish as he thinks about your question. Although his smile is still absent, he looks less upset than he previously was. It's a favorite song of mine, a catchy tune, although most folks at the Boys and Girls don't like it when I sing too much. Okay. The conversation comes to a halt at this point, both you and Bob falling silent. By the way, I'm sorry about... Don't worry about it. You shouldn't have something that ain't good enough for you. Diversifying food is great and all, but don't forget about the importance of quality eating. Okay. Perhaps it's a trick of the light, but you swear you see a bit of drool leaking out of the corner of his mouth. You don't get a chance to mention it before a quick wave of his hand wipes it away. We wouldn't want to get you sick from the garbage they serve around here. Okay. As his voice trails off, he sighs and shakes his head. Thankfully, that intense look in his eye is now fully gone as he gazes at you. Let's see if there's any special events. I'm curious whether anything special happens around here, like festivals or fairs.
Halloween's always the biggest draw around here. All sorts of folks participate, adults and kids. And yours truly, of course. The promise of candy brings most people out, and while I don't blame them, I do think there's something far more important than candy. Something really worth celebrating.
Bob paused before leaning closer to you, looming above you thanks to the height difference between the two of you.
Fear. Halloween's a time when the lines between the natural and supernatural are blurred. Lingering spirits roam the streets, haunting whoever crosses their paths, and all other kinds of ghouls stir up trouble wherever they can.
He goes quiet once more and seems to be deep in thought. After a moment, he chuckles and shakes his head.
Did you know one of the main reasons why people love celebrating Halloween is 'cause they love to feel fear? Some use it to get all cozy with what scares them. Others embrace the terror they feel. It's a pretty complicated holiday, but that's what I love about it.
It certainly sounds like quite the event with how he had described it, and perhaps that can be something for you to look forward to as well.
There's also some local events every so often. Festivals, little street fairs, and the like. I think one might be happening soon, although I can't remember the date.
You make a mental note of this. Maybe that's something you'll be able to do in the future once you've figured out what's happening, of course. I'll definitely keep that in mind. I'd love to see what this place is like on Halloween.
Well, it certainly gets crazy.
Unfortunately, your conversation is forced to come to a halt when you find yourself and Bob in front of your house. Looking over your temporary companion, you smile at him. Thanks for walking me back to my place. I really appreciate it.
It's no problem. Wouldn't want you getting lost or anything. I don't want to lose my newest customer after all.
His words are punctuated by a wink.
Or a potential friend.
Aww.
Sweet dreams, darling. Have a good night.
You wave as he walks away, streetlights flickering on as Bob passes by them. Faintly, you can hear him humming that same strangely familiar tune you had previously spoken about. Worn out by your long day spent out in town, you slowly open your front door and step inside. The darkness from outside follows you in as you enter your home. You leave the front door open and allow the rays of moonlight to illuminate the room. Strange, it seems as though you've forgotten to leave a light or two on before you heading out earlier. You close the door, the sound of it shutting echoing around you. Keeping a hand on the wall, you make your way over to where you recall the light switch being. Flip it. No lights. Flip it again. Despite your failed attempt, you flip the switch a couple more times and get nothing in response. Did the power go out earlier? Is that why the lights aren't working? But the streetlights outside are on, so why is there no electricity? Has someone cut the power? Is someone in your house? The sudden intrusive thoughts shoot through you. It mixes with your memories of popular horror movie tropes, especially ones that make people scream at the screen in frustration. You shake your head to get rid of your encroaching paranoia. It's just a dark room. You'll be fine. You pull out your phone and check the battery. It's low, but enough to use it as a flashlight for just a little while. Maybe you can get to the bottom of this. Okay. Oh. Can we hit the light? Still, the light beckons you with the promise of an extra light source. You make your way over it, carefully holding your hand out in front of you so you don't bump into anything in the dark. Soon enough, your hand makes contact with the cool, clammy base of the lamp. Your fingers skim the surface as you try to find the switch to turn it on. Actually, does your lamp have a switch? Using your phone to scout for any signs of a switch or a cord to pull, even with extra visibility, you can't find anything to turn on the lamp with. No source of light for you. Door. The doors draw you towards them with a promise of a potential helpful item. There are only clothes in there. It's only got hats in it. This one. You run your hand at the side of the lamp, plumbing around for the switch. For a second, you think you see a light flicker, but it doesn't turn on. You click it again. Nothing. It seems as though the power is really out. You go to bed. Lack of proper sleep from the night before could make this harder than it needs to be. Sleeping it off will be for the best. When you wake up, hopefully the sun will be illuminating your room. Taking your own advice, you turn to your bed to lay down. Getting your rest feels impossible despite your tired state. Anxiety continues to eat away at you. Even being troubled feels exhausting, and your eyelids begin to grow heavy as your consciousness fades into black. When you come to, you're met with a familiar plague of darkness swallowing your room. Trying to remember your dream, even if you even had one, proves to be an impossible task. You pull out your phone and check the time. Only an hour or so has passed since you laid down. So much for a good rest. The roof of your mouth is dry and your body is uncomfortably hot. It's irritable feeling, to say the least. I don't want to go outside. That's probably a bad idea. Stay indoors. You don't feel ready to go outside yet, even though it's dark. It's probably safer in here than out there. You'll have to leave eventually, but for now you decide to keep looking around. I don't want to. It's a little bunny staring at you judgmentally in the dark. You don't recognize his picture. His face is obscured by darkness surrounding it. You quickly check the drawers to see if there's anything that might be help you navigate the dark. Unfortunately, all you find is a collection of knickknacks that won't aid you in this situation. Stumbling closer to the window, you bump into the drawers and nearly knock down your plant. With one quick glad, you save it from hitting the ground, letting out a small sigh of relief as you set it back down. That was the bunny. Hold on. Sorry, guys. Window? The blackout intensifies the soft moonlight. Your curtains are open just enough to let it shine through. Unfortunately, it isn't strong enough to illuminate anything in particular. That was the light. What's this? Oops. Hello? Was someone there? No response is uttered by the watchful shape. After sitting like for a fool for some time, you wonder what to do about it. I'm pretty sure that's the mannequin. You bite the bullet and step closer to the figure and shine your light directly on it. When you expect it up close, you can't see it's just a haphazardly poised mannequin. You can recall it standing here earlier today, but not dressing it up. It's still looking at you, a hint of questioning behind its blank features. Oh, we're bopping it. You wind up as far as you can and smack the mannequin with all of your on-edge might. It sways and bobs in response. You rest easy knowing it can't hit back. Books. Your makeshift flashlight skims over the books. While reading in the dark can be pretty fun, now is not the best time. Didn't we not have those books packed out, like when we left this morning? Like, that was empty, the shelves. Blackout intensifies, yeah, okay. Figured it was gonna be the same, but... Power outlets don't indicate what exactly made the power go out, do they? Well, it doesn't hurt to check. You lean down and stare, squinting through the darkness. Okay, that is freaky. Okay. Are we dreaming, hallucinating? Doubtless sparks, flashes of natural blue appear through the sockets before going dark once again. We don't remember standing back up. Okay. Whoa. Hold on. Let's get rid of that. Okay. That was weird. Nothing but your precious beanie sit up there. Well, they're nice to admire. It's too dark to do that right now. We should look for something more useful. Well, let's see, we've done that. Done all those. The freaky ass outlet. Pant. Let's try going back to bed. Your bed beckons with warm sheets and the promise of getting some sleep. However, you ignore the siren song. You're still on edge and a bit too restless to think about laying down just yet. I don't wanna, especially after that whole outlet thing, but okay, let's go. The sensation of unease lingers and your fingers shake with pent-up energy. Bright stars decorate the sky above like drops of glowing paint, and you're hit with the cool night air as soon as you open the door. The silence you're met with is calming, with only your thoughts to keep you company. You attempt to clear your head. Your attempts are so intense that you nearly miss a glimpse of something moving out of the corner of your eye. The silhouette of a person hiding just out of sight. Curiosity gets the better of you, foresight forgotten with the breeze hitting your cheeks. The red sweater they're wearing is startlingly vibrant in the darkness, and you're hit with a sudden urge to touch it. Beckoned by the fabric, you take one final step closer and approach the building's corner. You hesitate for just a moment. Perhaps this isn't the best idea. It's cliche to say, but in a swift moment, your life flashes before your eyes. Time slows as you consider your options. There has to be something you can do. Fight, I guess. Flight, freeze. And fight. The encounter is heaping serving of hell no. Fuck this town, fuck this power outage, and fuck this serial killer. You can hardly move, but maybe you can bite him if you're quick enough.
Be a good man and keep your mouth shut for me. Can you do that?
The devil stares at you, studying your every move. He lets out a breathy chuckle, leering down from above with a mysteriously hungry grin. Your body trembles from where you now lay on the ground as you watch the devil back away into the darkness. Thank you for playing. See you in Chapter 1. Okay, so that was the demo of Tender Lovin Cannibal, which I found very cute, and I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on this, even though it hasn't had any updates since December of last year. My daughter did tell me something interesting about this, because I ended up doing it in 2 parts. And that is that this is based off of a short, I guess webtoon would be the accurate term for it, maybe, or YouTube short, done, called Spooky Month, I think is what it is. Yeah, Spooky Month. And I'm gonna go ahead and link that in the description as well as this, because I thought that was super cute when I watched it. So I will be doing that, and I encourage you to check this out. It's fun, and I gotta be honest, I think Bob's kind of cute. Sorry, I don't know if he's not your cup of tea, but I find him adorable. Yeah, there's that. Anyway, I will be leaving the link in the descriptions as always, and I will catch you guys on the next one later. Bye-bye.